Hi, scrolling along with Susan here. So in another video, I showed you how I made a base plate for my little trim router here. And in this video, I'm just going to show you my trials and tribulations of learning how to make a sign, routed out sign. And, well, I guess you'll see what happens. This is really great because I can see so well through my base plate and with this big opening here, exactly where I'm cutting. I'm using an 1/8 inch V-bit here, and I'm researching online about how deep to go, and I think I went way too deep for my first attempt at carving. Well, I can tell you that I went way too deep and I need to back it way off. I'm learning a lot. I have it actually less than 1/8 of an inch, just slightly less, so it's easier for me to move. Maybe as I improve in my working ability, I can make it a little deeper. And my lines are much smoother than they were here on these first three. So I'm learning how to control the piece a little bit better. And by the way, I'm using, it's about 1/2 inch of cedar wood, and that's what I'm deciding to carve on. I also learned that I want to come from the top down and then do the bottom L here, and then I'm going to pull it up and come back to the top, do that top part, and then down on this side. I have a lot more control coming towards me than away from me, and I can see better. I have been following Eric Roten on sign carving on YouTube to try to help me and guide me on the best way of carving. Hindsight's 20/20, but I really think I should have started with an 1/8 inch spiral blade instead of a V-bit to keep everything uniformed, even the edges. I think it would have been a lot easier for my first attempt. It is very, very true that practice makes perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect, but I'm getting better. I mean, you can kind of see as I'm going along how much better I got with smoother lines on the outside. And I've also decided that I'm going to come back with an 1/8 inch spiral bit to clean out the middle, so I'm saving my V-bit for just doing the outline. I like that I can have control over my wood piece, and I can hold on here, and I can also kind of hold on with my rest of my arm for the piece to be stable. And I just feel like I have a little bit more control with my movement. I've changed into an 1/8 inch spiral bit, and I believe that it's at the same depth, but I will have to do a couple test cuts. So now I'm going to come back and clean out the whole area. I am now officially a spiral bit fan. I love this compared to the V-bit. I'm sure it has its place, but I think this is so much easier to use a spiral bit. Nice and smooth. I'm just showing you a little bit more of my technique using that spiral bit, cleaning out the inside of each one of the letters. And then there are a couple edges I was a little rough on, so I took some of my carving tools out and cleaned up some of the edges to make it look a little bit better. I've sanded it all down, and I have cleaned up some of the areas that I made mistakes in. Now I'm going to paint inside, and of course some's going to go on the outside of my carvings, but then I will just sand that off. This part was kind of fun, seeing what I have underneath once I got rid of all the extra paint that spilled over. I chose shellac to do the finishing on this piece, but any kind of top coat would be fine. Here is my completed sign. The only thing I have left to do is to drill holes on both sides in order to be able to hang it on a wall. And I learned a lot in this one. And I'm not really happy with how my end turned out, but pretty happy overall for my first real sign. So thanks for watching, and my next video is going to be back on the scroll saw.